What happened in there? The nightmare of Saudia Flight 163. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow over Riyadh's bustling airport. It was 1980, and passengers aboard Saudia Flight 163 were eager to begin their journey from Riyadh to Jeddah. Among them were families, businessmen, and travelers, each with their own stories and dreams. But what none of them knew was that this flight would etch itself into history, not for its destination, but for the nightmare that unfolded in its wake. The McDonnell Douglas L-1011 TriStar, a marvel of aviation technology, taxied onto the runway. The crew, led by Captain Mohammed Ali Kawaider, was experienced and confident. As the engines roared to life and the aircraft ascended into the evening sky, the passengers settled into their routines, some flipping through magazines, others chatting with loved ones. But less than an hour into the flight, an ominous smell of smoke began to permeate the cabin. A quiet murmur spread among the passengers, growing into a ripple of unease. In the cockpit, the crew received an alert: a fire in the aft cargo hold. Despite the initial calmness, tension thickened as smoke began to seep through the cabin. Flight attendants, trained to handle emergencies, sprang into action, reassuring passengers and preparing for the worst. Captain Kawaider decided to return to Riyadh for an emergency landing, a decision that would prove both prudent and tragic. The aircraft began its descent, and the cabin was now filled with a suffocating haze. Passengers clung to each other, their fear palpable. A young boy, barely 10, held tightly to his mother, tears streaming down his face. An elderly couple whispered prayers, their hands entwined. When the plane finally touched down in Riyadh, hope surged among the passengers. But as the aircraft rolled to a stop, confusion reigned. Instead of immediately evacuating, the plane remained sealed, its engines running. Minutes ticked by, each one heavier than the last. Inside, the situation grew dire. The smoke thickened, and breathing became nearly impossible. Passengers banged on windows and screamed for help. Outside, emergency responders hesitated, waiting for clear instructions. The delay, though brief in real time, stretched into an eternity for those trapped inside. The fire, relentless and unforgiving, consumed the interior. When rescuers finally entered, it was too late. All 301 souls aboard perished, victims of smoke inhalation and the chaos of miscommunication. The tragedy of Saudia Flight 163 was not just about the fire or the delayed evacuation. It was about a series of small failures that compounded into a devastating loss. But amid the horror, there emerged lessons that would resonate far beyond the aviation industry. In the aftermath, investigations revealed gaps in safety protocols, emergency preparedness, and communication. But more importantly, it shed light on the fragility of human decisions and the profound consequences they carry. One of the passengers, Amal, had been traveling with her two young children, Noor and Khalid. Amal was known in her community for her resilience and kindness. Her story, recounted by her surviving relatives, became a symbol of the tragedy's human toll. Amal's husband, Ahmed, who had stayed behind in Riyadh, was devastated. But instead of succumbing to despair, he chose to honor Amal's memory by advocating for better safety standards in aviation. He worked tirelessly to raise awareness, speaking to international organizations and sharing his story. Ahmed's journey was not without resistance. Bureaucracy and denial stood in his way, but he pressed on. Over time, his efforts contributed to significant changes in aviation safety protocols, including stricter fire safety measures, improved training for emergency situations, and more effective communication between ground and air crews. Beyond the aviation industry, Ahmed's story became a reminder of the power of resilience and the moral duty to learn from tragedy. His message was clear: no matter how advanced our technology, it is our humanity, our compassion, and our responsibility to one another that ultimately define us. The nightmare of Saudia Flight 163 serves as a haunting reminder that even the smallest decisions can have monumental consequences. It teaches us the importance of preparation, accountability, and empathy in every aspect of life. In our personal lives, we often face moments where quick decisions and clear communication are vital. Whether it's in our families, workplaces, or communities, the lessons from this tragedy urge us to act with integrity and a sense of duty. Moreover, the story of Ahmed's perseverance highlights the importance of turning pain into purpose. Instead of being consumed by grief, he chose to create a legacy that would save countless lives. His journey is a testament to the fact that, even in the darkest moments, we have the power to bring light to the world. As we remember the souls lost on Saudia Flight 163, we are reminded that every life carries value and every decision carries weight. The true measure of humanity lies in how we rise from the ashes of our failures, ensuring that history does not repeat itself. In the end, what happened on that ill-fated flight was more than a tragedy. It was a call to action, a plea for vigilance, and a lesson in the enduring strength of the human spirit.